Emirates, as we know, is one of the world's largest carriers, and its market share in so many regions is huge. Operating a fleet of over 100 Airbus A380s really solidifies the goal that the Dubai-based airline has. So, when another new airline emerges and targets becoming something like Emirates, well, it's worth keeping a close eye on that. And a new airline that'll be based out of Saudi Arabia, known as Riyadh Air, is expected to become a global player in the aviation industry. It'll rival currently existing long-haul airlines in the Middle East and look to boost tourism and also the economy in the region too. Making Riyadh the gateway of the world is a significant ambition, because that's what it is. By creating the new carrier, they will see a boost in transportation, trade, and hopefully tourism. Therefore, the national airline is the public investment fund's latest investment. They are wholly owned by that fund, it must be said, and that's where they'll be getting their cash injections, that's where the money for the orders have come, and so much more. 200,000 direct and also indirect jobs will be made possible thanks to the creation of the new airline. And Tony Douglas, who formerly worked at Etihad Airways, leads the upper management team as the Chief Executive Officer, moving from Etihad Airways to take up this new role. Riyadh Airport can carry 30 or million passengers per year. However, a new airport to support Riyadh Air has also been announced. It'll include the capability to transport a staggering 120 million passengers annually by 2030. This will increase to, wait for it, 185 million by 2050. This being some 20 years later than the initial target for the end of this decade. The airline's core logo and branding have also been revealed, but at this stage we don't have a livery, so you can let your imagination run wild just off this very brief image we've had, with an R symbolizing the first letter of Riyadh, no doubt, and it sits between an oval, likely representing an aircraft window. Tones of purple have been featured throughout the branding's announcement, so you can definitely expect the livery to have something like that and potentially feature the R for Riyadh Air on the tail of the aircraft. But all that remains to be seen as we await further details. Since its official launch as Riyadh Air, we've had a significant order from the company for the Boeing 787, which has also been covered on the channel. This was a sizable order that will ensure that the airline launches as exclusively an all Boeing operator. This is unless something changes in the foreseeable future. But for now, it's hard to see why that would happen with their largest and bulkiest order going all to Boeing. It's an interesting proposition from Riyadh Air. Naturally, we already have Saudia, which is a fully established Saudi Arabian-based airline. A lot of people have questioned how the two will intertwine and coexist in the same location. However, the counterpoints for that have related to the overall business model of the two airlines that will be different, and their market catchment areas will also be different, with Saudia targeting one kind of demographic and Riyadh Air aiming for the other. One thing's for sure though is the company, the public investment firm, and much more all have very high hopes for Riyadh Air and want to see it take on a role similar to that of Qatar Airways and even Emirates in the aviation industry. Whether that will be entirely possible is another question that I would love for you to explore down below in the comments. We're still a couple of years away from the eventual launch of Riyadh Air, and no doubt as we approach that launch, more information will trickle in, but based off their initial commitment and everything we've heard from executives, they really want to be a major player in our industry. They don't have small ambitions, they have big ambitions. And yes, sometimes that is fantastic, but achieving those ambitions is a whole nother question in itself. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, be safe. I'll see you next time.